All right, hello and welcome to a Saturday Brave Frontier 5-star unit cast. My name is Treylox, and I'm joined by casters Lance and Nova.
Hi guys, I'm Lance.
I'm Nova.
All right, so today we'll be discussing the 5-star units released earlier this week. Afterwards, we will briefly talk about the Battle Maidens event, which just came out, as well as future units and releases. This is an interactive stream, so we would like to encourage you, the viewers, to ask questions at any time. As we go over each unit, each caster will rate the unit from 1 to 5, 5 being the best, which is then recorded on the bottom right of your screen. After the ratings are finished, you will see a mutual decision made by Lance, Nova, and I as to whether you should summon if you are a free-to-play player. There are two guidelines that factor into the rankings. First, each unit is evaluated against other units of the same element. Second, each unit is rated against unreleased units that are expected to come out within 1 month. So, with that said, let's begin with Lance, who will start off with the 5-star Thunder unit, Grybe. Lance, what do you think about him?
Hey guys, I'm Lance, and I'm sorry if Nova and I sound alike, but I think you're gonna hear us that we actually sound a little bit different. But yeah. But for the Metcan Grybe, I really like this unit. I think I'm one of the few people who actually likes them because I believe a lot of people are sort of having trouble with Carl, and I believe this is the answer to a lot of people's Carl's problem. If you just bring Grybe in, I think he can do a lot of work because he makes this you guys take less water damage, and he also does AoE attacks, which actually cause weak status effects. So he's gonna make Carl hit you for even less, and he's Thunder type, so make this wonderful leader. And when he gets to 6 stars, he's gonna be even more like beastly. So what I really like about him is that he has nice high attacks, but the thing is he has really low defense. So that's one of the things that I don't really like about him is his low defense. And his recovery is actually not that high too. So for him, like I would take probably like a Guardian, and then probably like Anima, and then a Lord. So because he's useful for Carl, and a lot of people are having trouble with Carl, I think I'm gonna give him 3 stars. Yeah, I'm gonna give him 3 stars. So, all right, I'm done.
Okay, so 3 stars for him. All right, so for Grybe, let me just point out. Let me just point out that these new units, these new batch of units, will feature incredible 6-star stats, right? And skills, but we're at 5 stars right now. For example, they're going to have a 65% boost to attack as a leader skill, which has really never been seen before. Right now they are 5 stars and will be noticeably weaker. So let's go back to Grybe, right? Let's think. Okay, 6-star Amelia, 1620 attack. Okay, 6-star Behemoth, 1612 attack. Okay, you got me. 6-star Lock, 1745 attack. 5-star Grybe, 1842 attack. Wow, right? This guy is insane. His Brave Burst and Leader skill is really nothing to brag about right now, but wait till his 6-star form. He's a good unit to use as a free-to-play player, and a great unit to keep as a pay-to-play player, and therefore I'm going to give him 3 stars as well. What do you think of him, Nova?
Okay, so looking at the second half of the Guardians, for me, Grybe is on the lower end of the scale. Because even though he is a Thunder unit, and he's similar, I guess, in this set to Ramna, the Fire unit, his Brave Burst that deals weakness, which is the defense decrease, doesn't really help actually in too much compared to other units who are released in the set and other Thunder units that you could bring to fight Carl. Because for Carl, definitely choose Amelia because it's a single target Brave Burst and it does more damage, or something like Rena, which has paralysis and it gives a higher boost to Thunder. And then you also have units like Locke, which have a much higher defense than Grybe, in my opinion, because 13-12 defense, even though it's at 5-star, it is higher than a lot of other units, but as a package, Grybe doesn't really doesn't really give me too much hope. His 6-star does, but his 5-star doesn't really um, exactly rub me the right way because he has the lowest defense of all the Guardians. And being a Thunder unit, it for me it's just like another Thunder unit, you know. Until a 6-star comes out, he's getting a 2-star from me.
Okay. So 2 stars from Nova. And this is the only Thunder unit that was released. So, do we have any questions on Grybe? What do you think at 6 stars? Like, are you guys going to give him like a significantly higher score?
I think for me at 6-star, he's going to get a 4-star. Like definitely right now, he might not be the best Thunder unit using as Carl, but if you have him, he's actually better than most of the other, for example, 6-star Lulu. I believe he's right now he's even better than 6-star Lulu, just because 6-star Lulu has such low defenses, even lower than him. So I think right now we're actually really limited to the amount of units we have. So for example, if you're going to use like a 6-star Locke or something, you won't have that many. Like Locke doesn't have like high attack, and a lot of the units, like for example, even Rena doesn't have like a lot of high hit counts. But the Mech Cannon, he can actually he goes 6-9 right now for hit counts, and then later on he's going to be 10-13. And so this is actually one of the really high hit counts for just Thunder units. Thunder units are not known for having high hit counts, and this guy is one of the very first Thunder units that has high hit counts. So high hit counts for me is something that's over 10. So I like my units to have as many high hit counts as possible, so up to 30. But like the happy place for me is like if they can actually do like around 15, and he actually can hit 15 hit counts on Super Brave Burst. So this guy has one of the highest hit counts for Thunder, and right now I would say he's actually a good Thunder unit to use against Carl. But when he gets his 6-star, he's going to destroy Carl, like destroy him. So yeah.
Okay. Is Grybe good for a Thunder mono team? Right now, I don't believe he's good enough just because of the defense and all that was mentioned earlier. It really depends on if you're a free-to-play player and you manage to summon a Grybe, of course, use him. But if you just have him and you have all these other Thunder units like Locke, Amelia, use those instead of, or Amy, use those. What do you think, Nova?
For me, Grybe, right now, if he did get released with a 6-star, I'd definitely say level him up right away. But he can be kind of put on the back burner a bit. And I think even though there are a lot of good Thunder units out right now, he's kind of in the middle of the pack. So I'd definitely say that if you have Grybe, you can use him. But in terms of like just general use, even though he does have high attack, a lot of Thunder units already have high attack. So for me, he does have. If you compare him to somebody in the set, he's kind of like Ramna. But when you compare him with Ramna, I think Ramna would win in that scenario. And then if you just match him up like against other units in the set or even in his element tier, he kind of just falls short in all those aspects.
Okay. What weapon does Grybe hold? Do we all agree that he's holding some sort of cannon, or what is that?
I think his occupation was listed as a sniper, but he is holding like a cannon, so I'm not entirely sure how a sniper with a cannon in Brave Frontier happens, but I guess he is
So revealing.
So a sniper cannon, I guess.
If I'm using a rainbow team, should I use Locke or Amelia?
Locke, I believe, is just better in terms of overall use. Even though he does have that one hit, Super Brave Burst, I think it does deal way more damage than Amelia's Super Brave Burst because it is a massive hit.
Mm-hmm.
But Locke if you compare them side by side, Locke has better stats overall, as well as his normal Brave Burst is AoE. So I'd say he definitely has more uses, especially in a couple of weeks he might get Frontier Hunter back because it is a monthly thing. So.
Yeah, I completely agree with Nova here.
Yeah, me too. Like, for example, I would use Locke as a leader, but Amelia is more of like a filler that does attack because she actually has high hit count or high hit count. And the thing is, her leader skills gives you BB cell, and Thunder units are not known for having high hit count. So I don't think even with BB cell each turn, it's not going to help much. So Locke would be the better choice, so you can get that guaranteed defense boost and recovery boost. So yeah. But Amelia definitely for putting it into your team so she can do more damage.
Is 5-star Grybe better than 6-star Ease? I actually have him, for me, I have him one below Ease, just because he doesn't have 6-star yet. What do you guys think?
The thing is, the reason why Grybe's defense and recovery is like so low is because Gumi or Alien, they push everything towards his attack. And the thing is, you don't like most people don't like pay attention to this, but he actually is one of the highest unit that has the highest attack. Like for example, I believe his attack at 6 stars is 2400 or 2500, and then at with a Medulla he goes to 2900 attack. And like what units have like 2900 attack? You know, with a Medulla, very few units have that high attack, and this guy can actually hit like really like 15 hits too with 2900 attack. He's gonna decimate like enemies. So yeah, but that's only his 6-star. But right now, his 5-star has like some weaknesses. So and he doesn't have that much utility yet. But when he gets his 6-star, he's gonna have like a lot more utility. So, if he's, I think Ez has 6-star right now, so you wouldn't want to use a 5-star. So I would say that 6-star Ez is better than Grybe, but if it's like 5-star, it's kind of like a toss-up. So maybe, yeah, it's kind of a toss-up. So just whatever you have.
I'd actually go with Grybe in this situation because Ez and Grybe are kind of like similar in many aspects. One does weakness, which is Grybe, and the other one is nothing. So Grybe wins in that aspect. Overall stats-wise, Grybe's are definitely higher because Ez being a starter has really low stats. The only scenario I'd use as 5-star form is if I just recently got like a Grybe at 4-star and I couldn't evo him up like in the recent anywhere near now, because Ez being a starter does have a lot less experience needed to max him out. So that's the only case I'd say if you're really having a hard time choosing. Otherwise, I'd go with Grybe. Definitely has more long-term usage than a 6-star has as well.
Okay. So let's move on to the next unit, the fire unit Ramna, or Ramna. How do you pronounce this? Ramna?
It's either way. It's
Okay.
really difficult when Gumi doesn't really give it like they don't actually like go in a video and tell you, oh, these are the new units. They're just like, here's the letters. Figure
Here's
it
the
out.
pronunciations, right? Okay, gotcha. So Lance, why don't you start off with Ramna at 5 stars?
Ramna is actually one of these units again that have you with the 15% like reduce damage against this, what is strong against. So right now, I don't think you need 15% earth damage. Like if you're gonna be fighting earth units, right? the thing is you're already a fire unit, so you're going to be doing a lot of damage to them already, and they're doing half damage against you. So right now there's not a lot of like usage for her because I don't know any really strong Earth bosses right now that people have like a lot of time like hard time fighting because we know we have Carl and we have Grawl. So these are units that everybody will like eventually have to face, but there's no unit right now that we have that we need to fight using like a fire team. So until we have actually like an enemy that we can actually fight using a mono fire team, then I don't find her that useful. And she's mainly like really defensive. So the thing is, her VB skill will actually give you defense, but the thing is, like what unit are you going to be fighting that's Earth that you would need that high defense against? Because right now there's no enemy that you would have to fight. So this is why I'm not going to give her a high score, and her defense is actually really low too. And she actually has higher recovery. I'm looking at her lore type. So I right now, like if I had her in my team, like I wouldn't use her at all. So, but maybe when there's like the legendary vortex, then I would use her 6-star. But the thing is, her 5-star right now is really weak. So I would give her a 2-star right now because it's just there's not that many instances where you would actually bring her out to use her. So yeah, I would give her 2-star right now.
Okay. All right, so Ramna, right? This lady has like over 1,700 attack once again and over 1,700 recovery. Pretty impressive, but lacks in defense, like Lance said. Hence, Guardian is her typing. You want to get her as a Guardian. But once again, her Brave Burst and Leader skill aren't really worth mentioning. But
yeah, there's so many units with defense buff already. Like, do you need another one? It's like, yeah, but sorry.
It's pretty much useless, right now. But she'll eventually land herself in the top 3 once her 6-star form comes out. Right now, however, I feel like units like 6-star Vargas and 6-star Lava are ahead of her, and her usefulness will be limited. Attempting to get one type, the Guardian type, out of 5 will be very difficult, and therefore she only gets 2 stars from me. Okay, Nova, what do you think?
Okay, so for me, Ramna falls into the same category as Grybe. She's on the lower end of what you'd want from the recent 6 Guardian set. But even though her best typing is Guardian because it gives you defense, which she really needs, I think that a fire unit that does give defense up is better than a unit that gives weakness. And they both have the same amount of hits, 6 hits and 9. And her usefulness right now can actually be really a low end, but I think if you have she's still a good fire unit, in my opinion, because even at 5-star stats, she does have one of the higher base stats of all fire units that we have right now. Comparing it to units like Centaur and Lava and Aisha, though, she does fall kind of down, but she does give defense. If you ask me, any unit that gives defense is welcome in my book, even though we already have like Zelvin and Elimo and like Xenon Estia. But for me, Ramna, just because of that, the defense raise, I give her a 3.
Now, I wasn't following. You said something about defense raise? Oh, because of her Brave Burst, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. All right, so do we have any questions for Ramna, the fire unit? Okay, who would be better, 6-star Ramna or 6-star Laurent? Ooh, this is what do you think?
Can I go first, Nova?
Yeah, okay, so the thing with 6-star Ramna is even though a lot of people might say that she's bad now, comparing them is like comparing a Titan to like a little man with his puny fire sword, in my opinion. Because okay, so Ramna has AOE. Her stats at 6-star are better, I think, in like all aspects except for attack, because Lauren has slightly higher attack. His Brave Burst and Super Brave Burst are both single target. It's really good for fighting bosses, but his Super Brave Burst doesn't give any help to the team at all, whereas Ramna gives the defense, which you do need in later fights. I'm surprised they aren't out yet, but you guys will see what I mean pretty soon, like in the next month. And I just think that Ramna, I believe she has like top 2, top 3 of the highest overall fire stats, and comparing it to Lauren, which has already been released, and with his single Brave Burst attack, and even though he buffs himself, I just don't think he is better in any way than Ramna.
Completely agree. Like Nova said, Lauren is single target. Ramna is multi-target. Her stats are insane at 6 stars, and Brave Burst, 11 hit combo fire and increased defense. Super Brave Burst at her 6-star form, 13 hit to all enemies, boost defense and attack for 3 turns for all allies. So significantly better to Lauren.
Yeah, I was thinking if you guys have to decide, usually the unit that's better is the unit that actually has the AoE Brave Burst. So we're comparing someone that has AoE Brave Burst to a single target. But the thing is, what Alim does is that units that actually have a single target Brave Burst, they actually decrease the fill rate. So what would happen is your Loran will actually be attacking with his Brave Burst more often than Ramna. There's like a 5 BB till difference, but that's like 5 turns that you can actually use it earlier. But the thing is, about Ramna is that right now buffs doesn't stack, so you don't really want to fill your teams with like 2 or 3 Ramna. You basically just want one of her, maybe as a leader or as a friend leader, and then you just need one of her so that she can give you her buffs. But the thing is, Loran, like for example, if for some reason you're fighting like just one enemy and he's Earth type, then Loran is not that bad, Yeah, sure, he only gives like buffs to himself, but the thing is, his Brave Burst is going to be filling up a lot quicker, and his attack is slightly higher. So that's the only time you would be using Loran, is if you're fighting like for some reason like an Earth boss that's really tough, and you already have like one Ramna as leader. So yeah, that's what you would use it. Well, that's what I would use her. So, all right.
Do you think she would be useful to use as a unit in Raydn? What do you think, Nova?
For me, I still haven't gotten to Raydn. I will be starting that this week, but like in my experiences with Zarya, I feel like any unit that does give defense, even during regular mobs, or like sometimes they have what are called, I guess, mid bosses. Like halfway through the stage, you'd get pitted against like a slightly stronger squad, but it isn't like the boss level yet. Definitely, Ramna just having high stats overall, like you can bring like a girlfriend or put up a dual gem on it, and having that extra defense buff would actually go a long way, in my opinion. So I guess if you don't have any defense up units that you can use, and you find yourself struggling, I'd say Ramna would be okay for that situation.
Yeah, I'm actually almost done with Wyvern. I'm like probably like 2/3 of the way done, and I wouldn't bring Ramna, because the thing is, if the bosses are hard enough that you need to bring defense up, you're gonna bring your LMO, because your LMO is gonna be a healer. If they're hard, then that means you need a healer. So you bring your LMO, and I wouldn't want my LMO defense to be stacking for defense, because they don't stack, so they're just gonna refresh. So I wouldn't bring Ramna. I would just bring my LMO if I need a defense buff. And like what happened was like at first I was running like a mono dark team, and so I had my 6-star Magreth, which had a defense buff. And the reason why I actually got rid of the Magreth was because my LMO like defense buff wouldn't stack with the Magreth, so I didn't find like a reason to use like double defense buff. So that's why I didn't use my Magreth anymore. I took him out, and I made Alyut my lead. So if you're gonna be fighting Wyvern and the enemies are gonna be really tough, you're gonna want to bring a healer. And one of the best healer right now that we have is a 6-star LMO, which has a defense buff. So you wouldn't want to place her like you wouldn't want Ramna in there like refreshing LMO's Ray Burst, because maybe LMO's Ray Burst is actually stronger than Ramna. So it depends on your team though. If your team is mono fire and that's all you have don't have LMO, your team is mono fire, and you need a defense buff, then definitely, Ramna is something to be considered. But it depends on your team. If you have like a mono fire, then Ramna is actually a great asset. But if you have like access to other good units, then like I wouldn't bring her. I would bring like someone like LMO. Okay.
Another question: will Ramna be replaceable for Earth Trial? What do you mean replaceable? Is it like usable?
I don't think Ramna's leader skill can be replaced when you're doing like legendary vortexes, I think. Or even if we do get a trial I think by the time we get a trial like Earth in Randall, I think Ramna might be outdated by then. So we'll come back to that question, I guess, if we do get an Earth trial unit. But I think she will be replaceable if it is an Earth trial. But as far as like a Lance legendary Vortex dungeon, which we're still waiting on, it's been long overdue for any kind of legendary Vortex. But I'd say Ramna definitely way more useful for that than like any other leader.
Okay. So let's move on to Raydn. And Lance, what do you think about Raydn?
I was actually kind of excited that Raydn came out because he was placed with Ophelia, and I forgot who was the other unit, but what was it?
Zephyr.
Zephyr and Raydn and Ophelia, and I was like, wow, like these are like three of the these are probably like one of three of the best units out of the entire batch, and they actually like placed them in like together on increased rare summons. So I was kind of happy about that. But the thing is, Raydn right now, I guess he's right now he's kind of hard to use. The thing is, we don't have, when you think of good water units, you think of Thelnius and you think of Sirens. And then we can't really think of any other good water unit. There's Carl, but the thing is, Carl's only a 5-star, and he's probably not going to get a 6-star. So I was actually really glad that they actually put in another good water unit. This is actually one of the better water units too. But unfortunately, he gives spark damage plus. So that means that your team is going to be having high hit counts. So if you're going to plan on using, I don't know, mega or units that have low hit counts like 5 or 6 or 7, then probably you're not going to get that much benefit out of them. Like the way you guys are going to get the most out of them is if you place them in a team that has high hit counts. So they can actually do extra sparks. So for example, if you're going to make a mono water team with Sirens, like multiple Sirens, then he's great for the multiple Sirens, because he can actually, when those spark hits, you're going to actually be getting the extra damage. So like a Siren team, or if you don't have a Siren team, then maybe even with Douglas, because I heard that Douglas right now, the first Douglas doesn't get the spark damage buff. So maybe if you use Raydn first, like when you get his 6 stars, use them first, and then you can get the spark damage plus, and you can get the defense ignore, and then you can use your Douglas and just get like tons of damage. But right now, I think I really like him, because the thing is, a lot of people they have like 4 or 3 Siren teams, mono water with Thelnius, and placing this guy in that team makes him able to hit even harder with your Sirens, which people love already. So I really like this unit right now. but I'm going to have to give him a 3-star, and then when he gets his 6-star, it's actually going to be even higher. So 3-star for me.
3 stars, okay. Well, see, you
Yeah,
were
3
going to
star
give him a 4-star until you said but.
Yeah, I was going to give. Yeah, but the thing is, yeah, he's almost there. It's like he's almost at 4-star, but yeah, his 6-star is going to be really nice. And this guy, his stats is so nice. Like it's really balanced. You know, you don't have anything low. You don't go, oh, he has low defense. You don't go, oh, but he has low recovery. All his stats is like way up there. So even Anima Raydn is like I would choose Anima Raydn, and then maybe maybe even like Breaker Raydn after second, and then Guardian. So, all right.
Okay, so Raydn, this is a unit that will eventually have a 65% attack leader skill. Right now, his base stats are comparable to a 6-star Feldeus. So yes.
Base stats.
Yeah, base stats. So yes, you already know what I'm going to say. Keep him, right? Just looking at his base stats, no stat falls under 1500. Beautiful.
Uh-huh.
This is another unit which has a bunch of potential, but is currently outclassed by other 6-star forms. In the current state, he gets 3 stars. Okay, Nova?
Okay, so Raydn is one of my more favorite units in this set because he is one of the first units I got in the Japanese version of this game. And I have him Guardian in both versions, which I really like on him because his leader skill already gives insane amount of attack. So you don't really need more attack on Raydn. You need him to be able to survive. And I think Raydn's one of the units that you could take late game. And late game requires really high defense. So if you have a Guardian of him, I think that's fine. Honestly, there really isn't a bad typing on Raydn at all. If you look at his stats, they are really well rounded, and his spark damage increase is one of the harder, I guess, skills to find, especially on just a regular Brave Burst for spark damage up. So it definitely won't be clashing too much with other units that give either boosts or status effects to your enemies. Raydn right now, he is outclassed by a lot of water units. Even I'd say 5-star Carl would be better in Raydn in some situations. So I'd say right now, until he gets a 6-star, he really is on the high end for me, but I'd have to still give him a 3-star.
Okay, 3-star. Okay, so 3 stars all around. All right, do we have any questions for Raydn? All right, let's move on to Ophelia, who someone says we should give 5 stars to. But Nova, I know that you have like, how many, Ophelia, like 2 or 3?
I have 4.
Oh my goodness, 4. I didn't even catch that. All right, so Nova, since you have so many Ophelias, let me know how she is.
I guess before we start on Ophelia, there are some last minute questions that I guess I can address.
Okay.
For questing, it depends on your team. Cygnus does give injury, which is good in its own right, but I think spark damage overall is better for questing just because you should be able to do more sparks, especially on when you're fighting regular mobs. But when you're fighting bosses, I'd say Cygnus does have a slight edge on Raydn, but Raydn just has more defense. So it really depends on you and your team. And he's outclassed by a lot of 6-star units right now, like 6-star Dean has better stats. He's also doubles as a healer because he has a super brave burst. And I think even Saren outclasses Raydn at 5-star right now.
What about Selena?
Selena 6-star. I think Selena 6-star does outclass Raydn because she does have heal over time, uh, which is, I guess, on an attacking unit, it really gives a boost to your team when you're fighting long term. Of course, you'd still have your healer, but Raydn, even though it's new, it's kind of like he was supposed to come with a 6-star already, but he didn't. So I don't think it'll be too long of a wait. Even though we are giving him just 3 stars, he's definitely a candidate for 4 or even 5 stars later on.
Definitely. I have, Tesla, Felneas, Dean,
Yeah.
Mega. They're all above him right now. So let's see. We have another question. Lance, why don't you take this? What do you think is the best form for Raydn?
Best form for Raydn, if you're thinking about right now, like at this minute, like what is the best form for him? I would say that probably Anima and then Breaker and then Guardian. But if you say, I'm going to be using my Raydn for long term, I really like him, what is, the best form for him a long term? If it's long term, I'll probably say Anima and then Guardian and then Breaker. But yeah, it depends on if you want to use him right now if you want to use them right now and you don't care, you just want the best type right now. Right now, the content is really, really easy. So you want something that can actually just like hit really hard, and you want something that has high HP. So maybe Anima or Breaker would be the best type for him right now. But later on, when there's like tougher content in the future, maybe a few months from now, you're gonna want a Guardian type. So maybe a Anima or Guardian. The thing is, he has really, really high defense already. His base defense is 1911. So later on, later content, you might want a Guardian. But right now, Anima and Breaker.
Spoiler alert. Okay, so Anima number 1, Breaker number 2. Nova?
For me, I guess, this is one of the very few units, I think, actually has its peak at Lord, because if you look at the stats, they're so evenly balanced, and I don't really want to mess with it at all. So I'd say Lord is pretty good for right now. It covers all your bases. It's even in everything you do, and if you throw like Gra and Medulla Gem on it, you just have just so much stats in general that you don't have any gap at all in attack, defense, or recovery, or HP. So I'd say for right now, content, I'd say Lord is pretty good. For once, actually. I don't say that often.
Okay. Someone got an Ophelia. It's a Guardian type. What do you think of its stats? It's solid,
We haven't
we just
talked
said.
about
Right?
Ophelia yet.
Yeah, so I guess it's time to transition to Ophelia now.
All right, take it away. Nope.
So Ophelia is one of the newest Earth type units, and it makes me really excited because finally Earth is getting a unit that can hit really fast. It has really high stats overall, and it's going to be used tons and tons just because of its really low BB fill. And this is on par with Lyra and Farlon at 8, which is the lowest area of effect Brave Burst you can actually get. So for Arena, it's going to be a really popular choice. As far as your question, I believe Guardian is her best type because if you look at her stats at Guardian, it just offers a little bit more defense, even though her attack suffers just a bit. It's still enough, in my opinion, to get her by, and it makes her stats really well-rounded. The only thing I'd have to say about Ophelia is when you're using her against bosses, even though you'll get those Brave Bursts really fast, they actually don't hit as hard as other units with like a slightly higher Brave Burst fill. And Ophelia is one of the few units, especially in this recent set, that doesn't give any kind of buff or weakness to your enemy when casting their Brave Burst. But overall, I'd say she's a really, really solid unit. Definitely great for Arena. Suffers for her low hit count, which is why I'm going to have to give her a 3.
So Ophelia really is another reason why this batch of units are overpowered. The low Brave Burst fill rate, like Nova said. And really, nothing tells me like, oh, she's lacking in this or that. She has a Brave Burst of 8 combo Earth damage. Great. A great leader skill? Yeah. I mean, great for a mono Earth team. And how about a very good future Super Brave Burst? Yes, check. She is really like, she beats a 6-star Zelban in my opinion. She's actually on top. And right now, she's below a 6-star Lance. But once she gets her 6-star form, easily top 3, I think. So 3 stars for me. Okay, Lance.
Okay, I'm gonna do a spoiler already, and I'm gonna say that Ophelia is my favorite unit out of this batch. Okay, and the reason why I like her so much is because I've been hoping for another good arena unit, and finally, good me answers, and she sent us Ophelia. So Ophelia is actually better than Farlong in my opinion because there's so many mono water teams. So all the Syrian teams and all the Vilnius teams, it's so scary for your Farlong, even though Farlong is so good in the arena, but there's so many water teams that get scared of using Farlong. But the thing is, Ophelia, she doesn't have to worry about it because there's not that many mono fire teams, so she doesn't have to worry about it. So she's at that place where she's taking like neutral damage most of the time. Like if you bring Lyra, sometimes you might see some mono light. For example, some Zephyr teams, which gets you a little bit nervous too. But Ophelia, since there's not that many fire teams in the arena, you're really confident that there's only going to be neutral damage dealt to her. So for this reason, she's better than Farlong, and she's like around. I really like Lyra, and they're like about like the same rating right now, and she's one of the few Earth units that's actually really really good, and you want. So for her, I'm gonna give her a 4-star right now. And the thing is, when I get her, I'm just gonna lock her in the arena, and then throw away the keys. And then when I want to do questing, I'll bring my Douglas. So this unit for me is just gonna stay in the arena and dominate. So so she has really really nice high attacks, and since she is just gonna stay in the arena, I don't really care about anything else other than HP and attack, because they're gonna win 2 turns. Like most of the time they're gonna win 2 turns. So all that really matters to me is just HP and attack. So I would say Anima and Breaker are her best type for Ophelia, and 4 stars.
Would you prefer Ophelia or Lyra in arena?
It depends
That's
on what.
a tricky question.
Yeah, it depends what you want to make. So.
Depends. Okay.
I'm gonna say right now, a team of 5 Ophelia would lose to a team of a Kikuri leader and 4 Lyras because 6-star Kikuri is out, and there isn't really a similar kind of Brave Burst gauge refill leader for Earth at the moment, I believe. Even though you have Douglas, but Douglas is horrible for arena. I've tried to explaining this to many people. Douglas is really, really good in questing. Don't use him in arena.
I tried it in arena.
Once his Brave Burst goes off, it's like, well, where's the damage?
You're exactly right. I tried him in arena and I lost.
But it also depends though. The thing is, you're changing the leader. So if you're thinking about mono Ophelia versus mono Lyra, I would give the edge to mono Ophelia. Like 5 Ophelia. And Ophelia is leader, and then 5 Lyra, and then Lyra is leader. Ophelia actually has bonus damage. So if you give them angelic foils, and then with 5 Ophelia versus 5 Lyras, if you get first turn, Ophelia is gonna kill the Lyras.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's gonna.
Well, unless RNG intervenes and then your entire team gets paralyzed from Lyra's leader skill.
But most of the time, I think most of the time, Ophelia will win.
Yeah.
So here's a question. Where do you rate Ophelia compared to Golem? And we can probably talk about their 6-star form or their 5-star form, because I feel like Golem's 6-star is going to come out soon.
Either way, I'd take Ophelia, just because if you look at his Brave Burst fill for Super Brave Burst and Brave Burst, it's way too long. Even for questing, even on a spam team, it's too big. Unless you're going in with like the the highest form of Braver Spam, which is Felnius and multiple Douglases, he doesn't really have a place with his huge damage right now, I believe. So you'd rather have the more consistent Ophelia Bravers.
Yeah. Golem, I don't know where... Golem is a unit where it looks like good on paper because he has such high stats, but the thing is his recovery is like really suffering.
Yeah.
His recovery like really hurting him like a lot. Like it hurts him so bad because come on, like lowest recovery is 628. Like it's just it's just like his recovery hurts him too much. So Ophelia is like much better than Golem. He's not balanced. That's it.
I agree.
Yeah, I'd say the only usable type for Golem really is Oracle. If you want to use him, like actually use him. If you don't want to use him that much and you just need that like huge attack, like any kind of his super Braver's attack, you just like then it really doesn't matter because you're just gonna probably be using him on like a crit team. I believe is one of his uses.
Interesting question. What is better, Luli or Ophelia? Luli is a healer.
Yeah.
Ophelia is a damage. Just like comparing the tree to Lior.
Comparing the tree to Lior would actually be closer than Ophelia to Luli because you guys know that Lior does have that a super Braver's heal, but Luli gives a heart crystal buff to your team and she attacks, so she's pretty good in her own right. Ophelia, though, I just think, like, just because she's a lot better rounded and has a higher BB fill, I think Ophelia would take that one in terms of, like, more general use.
Okay.
But if you need a healer, definitely Luli could take one of those spots, extra heart crystals.
Okay. So, it looks like a lot of people are talking about Zephyr. Let's move on to Zephyr, the Dark unit. And Lance, why don't you start us off?
Zephyr actually has one of the cooler attack animation in the game that I like. I really like how he just, gets like a projectile lance and he just like shoves it to his opponent. Did I get disconnected? No.
No, you're here.
Okay. Yeah, he actually has a really, really nice attack animation, and I like it. I was talking to this with Nova earlier about his defense ignore, and why is it better than all the other defense ignore, because this isn't the first time that we see a defense ignore. We have a Delma, which has it on his Bravers and Super Bravers, just like Zephyr. And we actually has Lava, who actually has out on her Super Bravers too. So defense ignore is not something new that we've seen. But the reason why defense ignore is better here is because the reason why defense ignore is better on this character is because of his high hit count. So this unit, instead of just giving like a buff like Delma will just give the defense buff and then hit like twice and then he's done. But the thing is, what you can do with Zephyr is you can actually give the defense buff, and the thing is he can actually have a 13 hit BB, he can actually have a 13 hit Bravers too. So the thing is that will help you spark and get more battle crystals back and hit harder. So this is why Zephyr is one of the better defense ignore heroes. So I like him, but the thing is his recovery is is really lacking. Like I would like my recovery to be like as close to 1500, if not higher if possible. So his recovery is really lacking. So and this guy, he's not one unit that you guys would think, oh, I'm gonna put him in an arena. He's more of like a unit that you go questing with, and you want to hit as hard as possible. And this is why you bring in Zephyr. So this is a questing unit. So I would actually give Breaker. The best choice for him is Breaker, and then maybe a Lord after that, like Breaker and a Lord, and then not Breaker, it's Guardian and a Lord. So I was reading his stats, but I would give Guardian and then Lord second. So, but the thing is, Anima lowers his recovery like too much, and Breaker is kind of scary. Breaker, the defense is kind of scary. So maybe Guardian, Lord, and then maybe Anima. And yeah, and so I will give them a 3-star.
A 3-star?
3-star, yes.
Okay.
For now.
So right now, Zephyr. Okay, Zephyr's 5-star stats paces hand in hand with Lemia's 6-star form. So, as a matter of fact, I believe I have him right behind Lemia on my unit tier list. If you remember from our first unit cast, we told you that Lemia would fall behind pretty quickly, and she's already out of the top 5. Zephyr's Brave Burst is 13 hits to everyone, and there's a defense ignore, right? Which already beats Lemia's 10-hit Brave Burst.
Yeah.
Mm.
To me, Zephyr feels like a Kukuri when she first came out. Just overpowered, very nice to have, and that was a pretty good feeling. In my opinion, right now, he deserves 3 stars. Nova?
So Zephyr is one of the units that I know a lot of people were hyped about because it's another dark unit. You get to compare it to other previous dark units like Lyra, Lunaris, and I think that Zephyr is actually. I know a lot of people are going to hate me for this, but I think Zephyr is the worst out of the 3 latest units because ignoring defense, in my opinion, its really best use is in Metal Parade, because with that ignore defense, you can basically go to Super Metal Parade and kill a crystal in like 1 hit, and then you'll be like, okay, what's next round? And then if you get your Brave Burst back, because he does have pretty high hits, you'll get it for the next turn, and then if another crystal comes, bam, you kill that again with his huge lance. But in terms of questing use, I think the ignore defense is really, really only useful for crit teams because ignoring defense is something that you would normally reserve for boss killing, and I think boss killing really shines best with that ignore defense. Whereas you have Lyra with her fast Brave Burst refill, and Lunaris, which does give, I believe, weakness. So comparing those two, I think Lunaris has higher attack and defense but low recovery. Similar situation here with Zephyr. Really high, not as high as Lunaris, but decently high attack defense, but low recovery, but higher HP. So I'd say I'd actually go with Guardian, then Oracle, then probably Lord, and then Breaker and Anima on me are kind of iffy for Zephyr. And I would give him 3 stars right now.
Okay. So, do you guys want to explain why we're giving them 3 stars instead of 5 stars?
I guess. Okay, so the thing is, guys, if we were to like cut off 6-star units outright, right, and we actually did an analysis comparing like all the 5 stars side by side, these units would be so overpowered compared to the rest. They'd probably all get 5 stars just because of their insanely high stats, and without super brave bursts factoring in, right, all of them have like really good utility as well, like either you have really fast Brave Burst refill gauge, like with Farlon or Ophelia, or units that give extra heart crystals, or give like ignore defense or spark damage. It's like insane. So the Guardians, like right now, even though it looks like we're giving them like bad ratings, we're really not. It's just that having 6 stars out right now really makes us like kind of sad to give these units lower than what they really should be getting. At least that's what I think.
Yeah, because we're comparing like these 5 stars to 6 stars that's already out right now. So it's hard to give them the same score as a 6-star right now when that 6-star is better than them. So this is why their score seems a little bit lower right now. But once you get to our 6 stars and we compare their 6 stars to the current 6 stars, then it will make more sense for you guys. But this is why we're giving them these scores. So.
Okay. All right, so let's move on. Nova is going to start off with the light unit called Alyut.
Yes. Okay, so for you guys who didn't see when I was streaming, I was doing some polls, and I think on my 7th poll for the most recent Guardian set, which had Alyut, Ramna, and Grybe, I actually got a mega rare anima Alyut. So for me, he's a very, very special unit, and rightly so, right? So light units are the other half of the units that are really, really looked highly upon because elemental damage doesn't really factor in too much because you either do more damage or you deal the same amount of damage you would across the board. But looking at his stats, he does have that higher defense, which I do like, and his recovery is high enough, and it doesn't suffer too much when you do have anima on him, which I do have. So I'd actually say right now anima then guardian. But looking at his leader skill, he does have that 50% damage up for light units, so he's another 65% leader. However, looking at his braver skill, injury, I know a lot of people don't think injury is really good, but in my opinion, I believe it's like tied with curse in terms of the most useful status ailments you can actually give to your enemy, whether it be in arena or in quest. Because the thing with injury is, like I'm sure some of you guys have seen Sarens, and when a Saren Brave Burst goes off, like in arena, right, your enemy does like 0 damage. So if you translate that to boss fighting, making the boss do almost like, instead of hitting you for a couple thousand, doing a couple hundred is a lot better. So in my opinion, Alyut is really up there in terms of, especially this last set, if not the best unit. He does do fairly okay, I guess, against other light units in his tier. But again, just because he is a 5-star and we're rating him against 6-star units, like I really saddens me to just give him a 3, because as much as I'd like to give him a 4, I know I can't because I'm unbiased, even though I'm completely biased because I pulled him Mega Rare Anima. So I'm just gonna leave it at that and go cry in the corner.
So was it a 3, Nova?
Yeah, sad. Yes.
Okay. So Alyut, right? You think Ophelia is good and Zephyr is good. Now look at Alyut. Over 1500 attack and recovery, and over 1600 defense. So all of his stats, you don't have to go for one type. Like any type that you get, I'd say would be really good. Just what the doctor ordered, right? His 5-star stats are outrageous because no light unit is comparable to him at his 5-star form. So, and I'm talking about like other 5-star light units compared to him. So in my opinion, he gets a well-deserving 3 stars.
Yeah, out of this like entire batch, when I first saw them, what drew my attention the most was actually Alyut, because at that time I had 7 Zephyr, and I was looking at him because I was thinking about making him my leader. If you guys haven't seen his 6-star, it actually looks really, really cool. There's an angel behind him, so I think that's pretty sick. It's like amazing artwork. I really like him, but the thing is, I just don't think he can compete with Zephyr right now as 5-star form, because Zephyr has paralyzed, and she actually like hits more and then she does more damage. So right now, for him, he gets the spirit now. But when he gets his 6-star, I think like Zephyr's gonna get some competition. It's gonna be tough. So yeah, for right now, maybe 3-star, and then later on maybe he's gonna get a lot better, especially since he has the heal returns, and there's not that many premium white healers out there. The best one is Tilith, which we're saving for last. Yeah. But I think I would use them. I think I would use them maybe as like a healer, like a off healer. But yeah, I really like him, and so 3 stars, and I would take Anima first. Yeah.
The thing about once he gets the 6-star form is that we have to compare that 6-star to all the other new 6-stars that came out, you know. So he may get a 5, may get a 4. Just depends on what's been released.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the 6-star Libra. Oh man, that guy's like scary.
Yeah, that's if like looking at the other 5-star units. Sadly, I do believe Libra is higher than Alyut because he is the best buffer out there. Then you look at the other side, you have 6-star aim, um, dual mechs, Zephyr, and now I can say this: we have Tilith. So I'm pretty sure. As much as I'd like to give him higher, he does get a 3, and I think that's where he is right now.
Okay, there was a question by Kunzi. How does Zephyr compare to Alyut? And let's just say, how does 6-star Zephyr compare to 6-star Alyut?
Well, the thing is, they like when I think about them, they do different things. Because I actually have 7 Zephyrs, and they actually do different things. Like Zephyr, you bring them when you want to paralyze like everything, you want to kill everything like really fast. And Alyut is more for like she's more for that safer team. You know, he's like you bring him when the enemy is a bit stronger and you can't kill as fast. So you want to play a little bit safer because he has his injury, which will help you out, and he also has his silver time. So it's for different things. Like Alyut is when you want to play a little bit safer, and Zephyr is like when you want to just go all in. And I think that's the difference between both of them. And it's just, I think for me, I wouldn't build like mono Alyut or mono Zephyr. I actually would have like at least one, maybe not 2 Alyut because I like the paralyze on my Zephyrs a lot. So maybe I would have 1 Alyut and have like 2 or more Zephyrs on my team.
Oh, so you're talking about the difference between Zephyr and Alyut is that Zephyr has paralysis.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Alyut has an injury effect, and you're comparing like which one's better.
And you would want to bring Alyut for like a fight or the enemies are tougher, you want to play a little bit safer. But Zephyr is for killing as fast as possible. So.
Yeah, for me, Alyut has that 65% leader skill to light units, so he's definitely, in my opinion, a really good leader. Even comparing to Zephyr, I think Alyut, with his guaranteed 65%, because battle crystals are random, and sometimes RNG can get the best of you in some situations, and double 65% leader is just 130% more attack. That's 30% extra than you get from 2 Zephyr leaders. So I think having 2 Alyuts and 2 Zephyrs on a team would be fine, and other light units that you'd have, since I know not everybody would have like 5 Zephyrs or like 5 Alyuts.
Yeah.
So it's really like if you really want to compare them, I'd say they're like almost equal in a sense that they can be practically be used for like the same things. But as Lance said, Alyut is generally tending more to the defensive healing side, whereas Zephyr is more on the killing and like really good status effect range.
Okay, so do we have any other questions for Alyut? Lance, have you seen you said the 6-star Alyut animation looks really cool. Have you actually seen it?
I've actually seen it, yeah.
Oh, cool.
6-star animation, yeah.
Okay, their body is ready for Xenon Estia. Okay, so Nova, what do you think about Xenon Estia?
For me, Xenon Estia falls in a completely different category than the rare summon units, because as long as you got Xenon and Estia, you were able to get Xenon and Estia the unit. And for me, it was a nice gesture from Gumi at least to give a lot of players a really useful unit that they can use generally for like anything, because the leader skill is really good. It's kind of like a pseudo rainbow leader skill with a 30% attack and 5 HP and recovery boost to non-light and dark units, which is kind of the opposite of like the Keymaster Gilnia, for example. And luckily for us, they actually tell us how much attack and defense boost they give, which is 35% on their Brave Burst skill. I think that's really high for a free unit. It really brings a lot of utility to a lot of teams that really need, especially on the free-to-play side. The requirements were tough to get Xenon and Estia, and I think as a reward, fighting them wasn't too hard, and they were really good in my opinion. So best typing on Xenon and Estia. If you want really overall rounded stats, I'd go with either Oracle or Guardian if you're gonna use them for a long time. And I think right now, comparing even Xenon and Estia to like 6-star units, they'd fall in the same 3-star range that we give these 5-star units. So that's a really good surprise from Gumi, at least in my opinion. Definitely a unit that you'll be using if you have nothing else for rainbow teams.
Oh, so how many stars did you give them?
3.
Okay. All right, so Xenon Estia, also known in the Brave Frontier universe as Zestia, we finally encounter a more realistic unit for the free-to-play player. The other units we reviewed today seem to be like too good to be true, right? Which is another way of Gumi saying, give me more money. Xenon Estia is one of the best free-to-play unit out there, and this factors into my rankings quite a bit. Zestia's 5-star stats are similar to a 6-star dual mechs, and their Brave Burst and Leader skill are surprisingly good. Did I tell you guys that my arena team got wrecked by a team of 4 Zestias and 1 Filneus? Well, it happened. I love the character design on this unit. They make a very cute couple. 4 stars. Lance, what do you think?
Well, this unit it's kind of different because normally people who are not free to play, like people who gem, they wouldn't even think about using this unit. But the thing is, the people who are free to play, this is actually one of the best units that they can get. And the reason why that 4 Zestias wrecked you in arena is because Xenon and Estia have 11 BB fill. So they get your Babers like super fast, and that's why you probably lost to them. I was really excited about this unit because I read the leader skill wrong, or maybe I'm still reading it wrong, but I believe the leader skill gives 30% attack and then 5% HP, 5% recovery to only fire, water, earth, thunder units.
You are correct.
I'm reading that right now.
Yes.
So that means that that they don't benefit from it. So they don't benefit from the leader skill. So yeah, you wouldn't be able to use them as a leader because they won't benefit from it. Well, you can, but they won't get the 30% attack and 5% HP and recovery. So
but 5 other
really
units
sad.
could.
Yeah, other units could, but they'll be the leader, and then they won't get it, and then your other units, you have to bring like a fire unit, water, earth, or thunder, and then you can just fill it. And that's why I really like it. Like you can actually fill it with any of those like fire, water, earth, or thunder that you like, So that's really nice. But the thing is, they don't get the leader skill, and like units that don't get the leader skills, it's kind of sad. For me, it's kind of sad. But the thing is, BB fill is actually really good. 11 for a free unit. I'm actually quite surprised that that Gumi actually gave us such a good BB fill unit.
This is how I lost.
And then he also has 35% attack and to attack and defense. So that's actually really nice. But I'm a little bit upset because I wanted them to maybe start at 35% and maybe, when you level up Grybe to like maybe 10, maybe it'll scale all the way to like, I don't know, 40 or 50%, That's what I wanted. It's good that we know it's actually a flat 35%, but then the only incentive for leveling it is not because you're going to get more attack or more defense. You're going to do more damage. That's all it is to get like BB level 10. So I was kind of upset with the looter skill, but the thing is, what made me say, oh, okay, this unit is not that bad, is because of their stats. My sister, she's like almost like a free-to-play player, and she has him as leader, and I believe with Chiku Jewel, he has like over 7,000 like HP, and I'm like, this is a free unit, and this unit has actually like pretty good stats for a free unit, and he can actually help a lot of the free players, because free players they can't build a model team because it's really hard, or you have to be really lucky to actually like summon like a lot of the same element. So with this unit, you can actually if you get like a lot of like weird elements, that are not, you can't form a mono team. This one can actually help you form your kind of like rainbow team quickly and easily. So I would give Xenon Estia 3-star.
Yeah, to go off of what Lance just said, it doesn't have to be rainbow either. It could be like rainbow, 2 fire units, 2 water units, 2 earth units, 2 thunder units, 3, 1. It really doesn't matter. And I think it really provides that guaranteed versatility because although Xenon Estia don't get their own leader skill, I just think that the flexibility of it really makes up for that. It's really for really geared toward making any team viable, and the attack and defense might not go as high, but for any unit that's free to actually boost attack and defense, for me, is a step in the right direction, which is why for me it was a really good surprise to see that.
Okay, so do we have any questions on Xenon and Estia? Oh, wait. Question. Use both Michelle and Zelbin or just Xenon Estia? What does that mean? Use both.
Okay, I guess I can tackle this. Michelle and Zelbin both give 100%, I believe it is, attack and defense separately. I guess if you do have the rare units, you should use them, but you are taking up 2 slots with that. And even though it's right now it sounds good, right? But you lose 2 attacks as well. So you're losing 2 attacks for 100% attack and defense buff. And mind you, this is Zestia, the free unit, who gives an attack and defense buff at the same time. So in my opinion, it really depends on what you're trying to go for. Because if you do have that buffing team, I'd say just get a friend with the Luberdine. I mean, that's like 70% attack, defense, and recovery, compared to 2 units that just give 100% attack and 100% defense. And then you can also throw in your Xenon Estia for other uses. So if you have Xenon and Estia, I mean, they're really good like free-to-play units that can just fill a lot of roles. And if you have Michelle and a Zelbin, they're not too good right now. They're really mainly buffers, but later on they'll probably be better than Xenon and Estia. So it's just like a matter of time, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I actually prefer Xenon Estia over Michelle and Zelbin for the reasons Nova stated. All right, Lance, you ready for Tilith?
I'm ready.
Bring it home.
Okay, so we're going with Tilith. Okay, I don't know what I should say first, but Tilith. Well, if you guys don't know, Nova, he actually did really well. He got +5 rank, so he actually got got 8th, I believe, in Frontier Hunter, and he actually got a Tilith. So thanks to Nova, we all were able to play with Tilith and see how she is like. At first, no one knew her BB fill. Like no one knew. Like you can look anywhere. Like look at the wikis, look at Brave Frontier Pros. Like no one knew her BB fill. And if you go to the forum and ask like people who have her, they're like, I don't know. You know, I don't know. You know, like it's just really high. I don't know. And then Nova actually did a test on her BB fill. And what was it? Was it 43, Nova? 43?
43 turns with Tilith's leader skill, yes.
Yeah,
43 43 turns.
Like I don't know. I wanted to give Tilith a 6-star rating, but then after that 43 turn BB fill, it just turned me off. It's just 43 turns. So that's like so high, you know, like 43 turns. But the thing is, if they didn't make it 43 turns, I think she would be so crazy. Because what happens is, you know, we were limited by how many fusion pushes you can bring. So you can actually just bring 1, and then that's like almost the same as having, you know, like 5, because you can just use like your fusion potion on Tilith, and then Tilith can use her Spray Burst, and then she'll give all your other units like it's almost like 3 fusion potions, you know. If they have Super Spray Burst, then it might not quite fill all the way up, but she can definitely fill all the Spray Burst up. So yeah, and the thing is, what I really found interesting about her when I actually was using her is I was like, oh, you know, this unit isn't just for healing and for BB, you know, the BB fill. This unit can actually attack too. Besides the huge BB fill each turn and nullify status element, which is crazy. Like huge BB fill would be good by itself, you know, and nullify status element would be almost like good by itself already. But the thing is, they combine it into one, and then she also heals and is like a fusion potion distributor too. So yeah, that's like really crazy, like to put all that together. And this unit can actually attack too. Like if you don't know, like this unit has actually near 1600 base. And then with Medulla, oh my god, like this unit can actually hit pretty hard, you know, like when she's not healing. She's if you give her like a Medulla, it's 1919, and she can actually hit pretty hard. So so my ranking for her is 5-star, like solid 5-star. Probably, I think she's like right now my favorite flight unit. I played around with her like a little bit. But when a 6-star Lyra comes out, I have to play with both of them and see which is my favorite light unit. So for now, 5-star.
Okay. Proven on Nova's stream, Tilith can activate the Brave Burst of your entire team in 1 turn. For those of you who have it, the 200 of you, consider yourselves lucky. She's easily number 1, but since not many people have access to her, I have her behind Zephyr. Even in a 5-star form, she easily gets 5 stars and will remain at 5 stars for months to come. But don't take my word for it. Nova has it laid out all for you guys.
Yes. Okay, so Tilith, right? Starting with Frontier Hunter 1, Frontier Hunter 2, Frontier Hunter 3, Frontier Hunter 4. I've been getting +5s on each of those, getting all of the mock units and all of the trial units in mock form. And easily, Tilith is on the same tier, I'd say, as Gra in terms of like tied for the best unit in the game right now. Okay, so the thing with Tilith is right now you can carry up to 5 Fujin potions, and Tilith takes those 5 Fujin potions, 2 normal ones and 3 tonics, and turns them into like basically 25, right? So she can activate your entire team. Like I just swiped once, right? I was like, okay guys, let's just see regular 5-star units, because I brought Tilith along, I brought Gra along, I brought Saria along, I brought Carl along, I brought Paris along, I brought Lugina along, and I just 1 Fujin portion on Tilith, and then all of their Brave Bursts got filled, and then you can use them in the same turn. Also, you can use after your units use their Brave Burst, you can use Tilith's Brave Burst when it's up, and then their Brave Burst will be filled already, so you don't have to worry about that pesky Battle Crystal refill. And as most of you guys know, most of the damage, most of units' real like power comes from their Brave Bursts. And Tilith really helps make any team, even though it may not be a BB spam team, into a BB spam team. You know, even though her Brave Burst gauge does take a long time to fill, this can be easily mitigated, especially in quests with like Holy Flutes and Fujin potions. Stats wise, Tilith is insane. She has the highest unit. Like if you were to like add all her stats together and round out like HP, she would have the highest out of any 5-star unit out there. Her recovery is insanely high. Her attack and defense, at 1600 5-star, easily make her one of the best healers in the game. Her leader skill, right? Let's talk about her leader skill. Okay, so part 1, it negates status ailments. You don't have to worry about getting cursed, getting poisoned, getting paralyzed, and you get the second part, which is the greatly fills BB gauge after each turn. So right there, that's like a Illuminina 5-star, and then you throw in a 5-star aim in one unit. And then her Brave Burst gauge is a heal, which would be a healer unit, and then get the BB gauge increase. The reason why Tilith is so amazing is I'm sure some of you guys have seen 5-star Raydn. Raydn's Brave Burst is increased BB gauge, but every time I use it, it kind of is lackluster. It just goes up by like a tiny bit, and I'm just kind of like, oh, so that's it. Whereas Tilith, easily noticeable. I think I counted it. It's 30 battle crystals, so for a lot of units, that gets well into their Super Brave Burst gauge if you want to activate that. But easily, I don't think there's a unit out there whose Brave Burst you can't activate without Tilith Brave Burst going off first. So easily one of the easiest 5-stars for me. I'd give her a 6-star if I could, but I can't. In terms of best units, I'd compare Tilith to Gra, right? So you have Gra with his insane Medulla Gem and his like 15% reduction. It's kind of the same ridiculousness you get with Tilith, even though Gra is a lot more access, has more access. But Tilith, everybody will get her, and when they do get her, at least it's a healer, which is really useful because I know a lot of teams, especially have that bad luck of never finding a premium healer that's really good, and this is probably one of the best healers, even when all the other units get 6 stars. So she's definitely worth it. That's all I have to say about that.
You guys wanted a 5, to give 5 stars to a 5-star unit, right? And there it is.
Yes.
Can she feel Golem? Can she feel Golem's Brave Burst? Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
Like I said, I don't think there is a unit out there that Tilith's Brave Burst can't fill. Super Brave Bursts are a different question because those take more than 30 battle crystals. But if you think about it in a sense where you're using 42 or 43 battle crystals on just one unit to fill 30 on your other 5 units, 43 battle crystals for 150 battle crystals in that exchange seems like a good idea. And then you throw a heal, it's a huge heal on top of that, and then just her leader skill, and then her stats, and then you just go like, wow, I guess this is why Tilith is walking around with us, showing us around, because she is a goddess, and goddesses are OP.
And I also remember watching Nova's stream, and he attempted to fill like his Super Brave Burst of Douglas's, and using one Tilith Brave Burst, it nearly filled up the Super Brave Burst of a 6-star Douglas.
Yeah, and then after one turn of just like auto attacking, that Douglas would be maxed out, and the next turn, Super Brave Burst spam.
Exactly. All right, so do we have any more questions for Tilith? Nova, can you give Sims your Tilith?
Okay, so how Tilith is actually going around right now is I have a list of people. I will be updating that basically whenever I stream, or if you go to Brave Frontier forums.net, you can find the list there as well. I call it the Pay It For word program because I've been playing this game for quite a bit, and I know when I was starting, I needed some help from like people who had OP units that I didn't have, and then like for me, this is my way to give back. So basically, how it works is I'm giving like since I don't really need OP friends anymore, I'm giving like a section of my friends list, total of like 15 people, and I'm sectioning that off between people on stream, people who come by on forums, and people who come by that are new. And basically, I do a 3-day rotation where I add people, and then every 3 days, 5 people get rotated in, 5 people get rotated out, but they stay on the list. And this is probably going to go until Raid Battle comes out because I do have Tilith, and I think when Raid Battle comes out, it's going to be a lot more interactive. So we'll be able to share Tilith around with people who are doing Raid. But right now, if you want Tilith Leader, I will be happy to give you access to Tilith because, as I said, only a very, very few limited amount of people have her. So this is kind of my thanks back to the community.
All right. Sounds good to me. Okay. So we're going to go to our final question, not the final topic, but the final question of this ranking is it worth to free-to-play summon if you are a free-to-play player? And this is a consensus amongst all the casters, Nova, me, and Lance. So what do you guys think? What do we all think?
Yeah, definitely yes.
Yes.
100%. 100%. If you look at the rankings right now, these are for the 5 stars. We've been talking about their 6 stars, and as you can tell, we are kind of sad to give these units lower ratings than what we know them to be in the future. So definitely 100% yes to free to play summon on this set.
Yeah, and like the thing is, like no matter what you get, really, they all have like a use for it. For example, let's say you summon and you get a like a Grybe, you know, this is your first unit and you're free to play and you're like level 20, and this is your first unit. Like you shouldn't care about that because Grybe, when he gets 6 stars, he's gonna help you a lot fighting Carl, which is your first tough, really tough opponent, you know. And if you get Raydn, he's like a great water unit, you know. You're gonna get Carl, and then Raydn can be in there with Carl. And if you get Ophelia, well, your arena team just got like a huge notch of power, you know, because Ophelia is gonna help you get so many wins in the arena. And Zephyr, like if you gonna go for Modern Dark team, yeah, Zephyr is good too. And Alyut for a light team, like no matter who you get, if you're a free player and you get one of these, they all have like a use for it. So, yeah, definitely yes.
And I'm going to say yes as well, just because in later batches, we're going to have some interesting units, but they're not as good as this batch of units. Like, this batch of units feature really spectacular stats. And at their 6-star form, it's out of the world. Like, we won't see anything like them in the future, like in the next month. In the next month, we might see like a dual GX or a Melchio batch, or maybe a Michelle, a Tiara 6-star. But nothing will compare to this. Even even the newer units, I believe that came out in Japan, the late August units, they're not as impressive as this batch. So this is definitely worth it in my opinion.
Yeah, I just think like the newer units, they're kind of harder to use. Like you would need like kind of like a team of them. Like you can't just put them into like a team and be like okay, because for example, you talk about the Rainbow team that's getting the 6 stars, so Loden 6 star, so Michelle 6 stars. Those units are good, but the thing is, they're they're a bit harder to use because you have to form like a rainbow team. So if you're free to play, it's kind of hard to like form it. But these units, you actually have a really good arena unit. So Ophelia is going to help you. Like a lot of these, it looks like this team is more for the lower levels, like lower level people. Like if you're just starting out, you're not that high level yet. These units are really good for you. But if you are more advanced, if you have every single unit already, then maybe the Rainbow team will help you more because they can actually do a lot more different things. Help you do Frontier Hunter, stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay. So definitely summon if you're a free-to-play player, unless you're like you have like 3 gems.
Well, we are getting free gems this entire month of August, which do guarantee, I believe, 2 rare summons if you log on at least once every 3 days,
But
starting from yesterday.
The summon rates up won't last forever.
They will, but I believe that even if the next set of 6 stars come out, summoning on those, especially now that Luberdine set, right? Luberdine set, I'd say 5 out of the 6 units are really, really useful. Similar with the Guardians, except I believe all 12 Guardians are useful in the long run, which is why it's a really, really good set, stats-wise, utility-wise, and leader skill, kind of unique, but still manageable. So they can be really used in like any team.
Okay. So let's move on to the second topic, and we'll just briefly talk about the battle maidens, which just came out like yesterday.
Surprise.
Yeah, and I'll just give you my input right now. I don't have much input because I actually wasn't playing at the time when the battle maidens first came out. So I'm going to give it to Nova and Lance, and you guys can talk about the battle maidens. How are they?
I actually really like the Battle Maidens. I was running a Mom and Dark team, but I just went back to my Siren teams because it was just more consistent. I would constantly get like 3-4 Vapors every single time I'm on arena with my Siren team. And my Mono Dark, sometimes I'll get like 2 if I'm lucky, but sometimes I'll get 1, or sometimes, I don't get anything at all. So it's just more consistent because I didn't want to put like Evil Shards on my Lyras, just to ensure that they get their guaranteed rebirths. So instead, I put Angelic Foils on my my Sirens and have Feminist lead. So Maidens are really, really good right now. I don't know. I can ask you guys this. I don't. Did Gumi buff them like they did in Japan? Do you guys know anything about that? Or are they still the old
I think they're still the same because
still the same.
And if they will, because they're actually different units in the Japanese version, I believe.
Okay, so they didn't get the buff yet. I haven't heard anything. That's why I want to ask you guys first. But even though they didn't get the buff, they're still really good. You should. I don't know. It's really hard because I heard a question that says, should we summon? Should we do a rare summon, or should we use like the 5 gems and farm Sirens and Cayennas and stuff like that? Well, let me tell you just off the bat that out of all these maidens, the only good maidens and the only maidens that you need is Sirens and Cayennas. You need to farm, I would say at least 4 Sirens. You would need to farm at least 4 Sirens for your arena team if you're a free player, and for doing Frontier Hunter and questing. So 4 Sirens, and then you also need to farm at least 4 Cayennas if you don't have any good fire units, because Infernal Showdown is coming next week. First week of August, that's what they said. And you guys need a really good fire team. And if you don't have fire longs and units like that, you need Cayennas. And Cayennas are probably like the 2nd or 3rd best fire unit to use in the arena. So these are only 2 units of the maidens they need. Liko, she does single target. Bailey's, her hit count is really low. And Vanilla, she does random hits. Like, you don't want them. Those units are just for collection. You get them and you look at them, and that's about it. You don't use them. But Cayennas and Sirens, you need them. And the thing is, if I had that 5 gems right now, just me, if I had 5 gems right now, and I was a free player, and and I don't have any good rare summons or I don't have any maidens, I think I would actually just use the 5 gems and just try farm like a Siren or Kayana, because I believe that I can actually get 1 or 2 with 5 gems. So yeah, that's what I would do. And so to recap, for me, Sirens and Kayanas are good, and the rest are not good. All right.
Okay, so I started playing, and then all of a sudden, people were wondering, what's the next Vortex unit, you know? Because at the time, there weren't too many good rare summons out, and Vortex units were still a big part of the game. Global did something crazy. They were just like, oh, guys, we're doing an exclusive. We're giving you these maidens. So everybody was really confused at the time. Nobody knew the stats. But when they came out, these units were really, really good. They were on par with the higher units. Like even Kakuri, you could say Liko had similar stats to that. So when they first came out, they were really high stats-wise. A lot of people wanted at least one. And then I believe Kayana and Saren came out, and a lot of people were like, wow, you know, these units are actually really good. Like, they're on the same tier, if not better, than some of the rare summon units we have. So a lot of people farmed a lot of Kayana and Saren, and a lot of people found out, especially when Felnius got into the spotlight, that they could build BB spam teams with them. So I've just seen tons of teams for Arena, especially running for Saren. The thing with for Kayana is that they have competition from their own fellow battle maiden Saren. So if you put 4 Kayanas up versus 4 Saren, Saren will shoot the hell out of Kayana and kill her, sadly. But right now, I'd say for the long term, this battle maidens will kind of become collectibles. A lot of people are confused as to why they brought them back if they aren't getting 6 stars. But I believe, I think, like Lance said, you should farm at least 2 of each of Kayana and Saren, so you can actually have like a pseudo BB spam team that you could really use for Frontier Hunter at least end. And that will get you a lot of rewards to get you started. And I believe if you're lucky, like the thing with pulling rare unit is you have to be somewhat lucky to get that first rare summon that's good. Because if you spend all those 5 gems and you don't get anything that's good, then well, that kind of sucks. Whereas you can try farming multiple times for Saren and Kayana, and the same thing is true, right? You could get either like 4 or 5 of them each, or you could get like 0. Which would also suck. So it's really up to you and how you want to spend your gems if you are a free-to-play player. But I believe even though in the future they're going to be phased out, Kayana and Saren are definitely a must for free-to-play players. Use all of your free energy on them. And if you can gem and you want to gem, go ahead and do that. But as for the other 4, I think at the time they were okay, but now they're not really up to par. They'd be really, really low on like a tier list of mine. So that's all I have to say about that.
All right, so I'm gonna get Kayana and Saren.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Good units. Did I mention they do paralysis and injury, which is number 1 and number 2
amazing.
of the best status ailments you could inflict, especially in Arena.
Yeah, I have faced them in Arena, and yeah, they're tough. Okay, do you know the capture rates for the maidens? I tried 3 times and I didn't capture.
I haven't tried them at all, but usually on the first go around, I think it took me at most like 4 or 5 tries level 3. But I've seen people getting 1 try level 1 multiple times. It's really confusing because, as you guys know, drop rates are total mystery. Unless you're talking about something like Zebra, which is like 1%, which I can verify is a really low percentage. But they're not too bad, so it's really up to it's really up to you and what you want to do with your gems. Because you also get a free gem for finishing the 35 energy one. But I know for a lot of free players at that time, and I'm guessing up till now, you guys have better units to do so, but it's still pretty difficult.
I'm actually, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I'm actually an expert at catching maidens because when the maidens first came out, I wanted to catch 5 of each, and I've actually caught more than 5 of each. You know, like I actually caught 7 Sirens and then probably like 6 Licos and 5 of Vanilla. I've actually caught 5 of each, so I've done the Vortex a lot. So I'm actually pretty good at the capture rate. If this is the same, I haven't done it yet because I'm waiting for Kayana to open. And the other Bayleaf and stuff, they're not worth it, so I haven't tried yet. But if this is the same dungeon as the one we got last time, the rate is not that bad. It's not that bad. Like at first, I believe the very first maiden that we got was the Luco, and the rate was so bad. It was like the rate was so bad. It was like when she came out, people did like 20, maybe 30 times, and then they'll get one of her. And Gumi noticed that it was so bad. So what Gumi did a few days later was they actually upped the rate on Liko, and they said, we upped the rate on Liko. And so I went from farming her like maybe 10, 15 times and getting one, and then when they actually increased the rate on Liko, I actually farmed her, and I got out of probably like 10 or 15 times, I actually got like 4 more of her. So I think right now all the rates is like this now. So for these units, if you farm maybe 5 times, you might get 1 or 2 if you're lucky. So I think this is the rate. And if you farm like 10 times, maybe you'll get like around 3. So I think this is the rate for farming them right now. And I'm gonna be farming hyenas like mad, and I'll be farming Sirens like mad, you know, because I want Sirens for BB leveling. So if you guys want to see the rate, I'll be jamming them like every single minute. So you guys can just check out my Twitch, and you guys can see the rate for yourself. See if they change or not. But yeah, I've actually caught so many of them. So
yeah.
Lance, I would like to offer you my account.
Yeah. Like, Lance, you probably have better farming luck than I do, because as you know, I have over 150 runs on Zebra, and it's ridiculous. Still haven't gotten him, but it's okay. We can keep trying. My farming luck is definitely, I think, one of the worst, but my rare summoning luck kind of makes up for that, so I guess
yes,
it evens itself out.
I'm like the opposite of you, so my summoning sucks, but my capture rate's pretty good. So.
All right,
so there you go.
Kali says, should I use gems for Cayenne and Saren on level 3? And he or she only has 3 gems.
Yeah, level 3. I only do level 3. Like if you're low level, and because the thing is that at level 3 they're actually a lot tougher to beat too. Like maidens are they're not easy. So if you're low level, maybe you should do the lower ones. Because maidens are pretty scary to fight if you're low level. So if you're high level and you have a lot of energy, go for level 3s, because I believe you get a gem too when you finish level 3.
Yep.
So go to level 3 if you're high level and you have a good team, and if you're lower level, maybe 1 or 2, because these units, if you're not prepared, they can actually wreck your team. So yeah.
Yeah, for I know a lot of people were out when the Sibyls got re-released. For those moderately experienced players, those were actually more difficult than the maidens. So if you could clear the 35 energy of the Sibyl sisters, I believe you have a better shot at clearing 35 energy on maidens. So there's that to take into consideration.
All right, so we're gonna head on to the last topic. This is gonna be really brief. We've already touched bases on this, the future units and releases today. So give us some insight as to this batch versus future batches and what we can look forward to. Nova?
Okay, so I've been swimming around in like Gumi's head, trying to think what they're doing. For me, it's really confusing because they've released basically a huge set of units, rare summon wise, in a week, which is like unheard of since like so long ago. Like before Kikuri came out, I think the last full set we had was Lock set and Elmo set. And that's what they kind of did. They kind of had it rushed, I feel like. They rushed out the first three Guardians, and then they rushed out the next like 2 days, 3 days after that. So for me, I was wondering when the next 6-star units will come out, and the 6-star units that were supposed to come out, I feel like were replaced with the 5-star units, the last 6 Guardians, right? So for me, since they're having the Inferno next week, and then like 2 weeks after that, it's Frontier Hunter. So one thing I notice about Frontier Hunter is every time there's a new Frontier Hunter, 6-star units were released like a week or two before that. So all I'm gonna say is I'm expecting to see the next set of 6-stars in the next 2 weeks. This is not 100% guaranteed because even though I'll probably be wrong, like Gumi could just like be like, okay, that's enough. Let's give them time to level up all their units. But I really, really am excited if they do release, especially in the next week, because that'll give us more time to get all these more OP units out and ready for the next Frontier Hunter. Because as you guys know, the next Frontier Hunter, I believe, will have the next stage, Terminus, which is gonna offer I believe, the Leguan gem, the plus 25% to all sphere. And as far as other releases, if Gumi decide on what like new rare summon coming out, I think if they do decide, they could do it 2 weeks, or they could do it again like what they did. Probably wait like a full month, because I think we should be getting more 6-star units out before the next rare summon set, and then probably do something crazy like release 3 and then wait a few days and then release the other 3 right away. So that's that might be what they're thinking, but I could be completely wrong because they just ninja everything anyway, so who knows.
All right, Lance, quick speculation. What do you think?
Yeah, I have the feeling that the reason why Gumi is pushing out the units so quickly is because they have to make room for a new units release. So we got 3 units, and then they said on Friday we're gonna get 3 more units, but then they pushed it to Thursday, and then it seems like they're in a bit of time crunch to actually release all the new units. So I believe within like a week or so, maybe early, maybe mid next week or late next week, you might see a first new 3 6-stars. So these are the like Libras and Centaur, Tesla 6-stars. So like Nova said, maybe next week you might start seeing the new 6-stars because they're in a time crunch. And like Nova said, Frontier Hunter is coming up. So when Frontier Hunter comes up, we're gonna get more 6-stars too. So I think Gumi is actually pushing these units like as quickly as they can. So yeah, so really soon, the next 6-star batch is the Centaur and Libra batch. So yeah, within a week or max is 2 weeks, but I think within like a week we can see new 6-stars.
Okay. We're going to tackle any other final questions that you guys have. So we have a question. I have 9 gems. I plan on using all my gems on Kayana Siren. I have a lot of fire units, but still I'm planning on getting Kayana. But I want Siren a lot more. How many gems should I use on each?
Okay, so for this one, because it's really difficult because you have to choose between getting a team that you're going to use from now till, I don't know when, like till now till they get phased out by better units, and that's like at least a few months. Or you want a team that's good for the Infernal Showdown, because you have to choose. You only have 9 gems, so you can only choose between getting a Siren team or a Kayana team. Because the thing is, it's Kayana, you gotta make their model fire, so you need a Kayana team or you need a Siren team. So if you already have a good team for Frontier Hunters, like so you have a lot of Douglas, okay, then maybe you can get Kayanas, because the thing is, if you have Douglas, you're not gonna use Siren. So maybe you can use your Douglas to fight in Frontier Hunter. But the thing is, if you don't have Douglas, you want to farm those Sirens and you want to forget about the Kayanas, because Kayanas are only going to be good for the Infernal Showdown, and probably after that, you're probably not going to be using them that much anymore. Or you can go right in the middle and get like, let's say 2 and 2. It's really up to you, but just keep farming until you get 2 and then stop, and then save your gems for the next day and then farm 2 and then stop. Or you can go, okay, I want an OP Protector team. I'm not going to farm Hyena. I'm going to use 9 gems on Siren and see how many I can get and do that. Or you say, okay, I already have a good team for Protector Hunter and I want Hyenas for Infernal Showdown, and then you can do that. So, all right.
Okay, so Nova, there's a question. Let's see. My team is 5-star Tree, Locke, Vargas, Magress, and 4-star Tiara. Do you think I should still do level 3 Cayenne and Saren or level 2?
Okay, so the thing with this is you could easily do the 35 energy on like Bailey and Liko that are out now to see if your team can handle that. I think your team looks okay enough to fight 35 energy, but just to be safe, I feel like you try out the level 2. Maybe you'll get lucky and capture her. But overall, I'd say test out your units now where the energy for the dungeons can still be used before going to Kaena or Saren, because they are kind of on the same difficulty.
Okay. And Lance just pointed out that there's 9 more minutes till the Kaena dungeon opens. So look forward to that. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up here. If you guys like this stream, follow the stream, spread the word to others. We really wouldn't be doing this without the viewers. I know I say this a lot, but you guys make this happen. A lot of thanks to Lance and Nova for joining in tonight. So thank you guys.
Glad to be here.
Yes. Thank everybody for coming as well.
Yeah, thank you everyone. We do unit cast when at least 6 units are released, so definitely keep tabs. We do a lot of postings on the Brave Frontier forums or the Facebook pages, or check back here. And of course, suggestions about the stream are always welcome. All of us do stream at separate times, so Lance, why don't you tell when and where they can reach you?
I stream like every single day, like almost every single day. So if you guys want to watch me stream, you guys can check out my Twitch, and I'm writing it below here. Oh, there we go. And you guys can also check out my YouTube, which has like highlights and unit reviews. So if you guys don't know if a unit is good or bad, just hop onto my YouTube and see if you can find her. If you can't find her, just write in the comments below that, hey, can you guys review this unit, because I don't know if it's good or bad. And then probably within like 2 days, I'll get you a review out so you guys can know if they're good or not. But I'm putting my YouTube below, so there we go. So you guys can check out the unit reviews I have right now, and if you guys are curious about a unit, you guys can actually just request it below, and then I'll do them within like 2 days.
Sounds good.
All right.
Also, you guys can persuade Nova to do more rare summons on his stream. So, Nova, how can people find you?
I'm on same twitch.tv/Nova_BF. I stream. I don't stream as late as these guys do, but I stream like randomly throughout the day during the week for quite long periods of time, I've been told, surprisingly. Right now, I'm still kind of working on my YouTube, but I have all the highlights. I just need to go and upload them, which I'll probably be doing in the next week. And I'll finally be starting Raydn this week, as long as they don't do anything else, release any ninja update that has me spending my energy elsewhere. Like, I say this, and then like tomorrow, Inferno Arena's gonna come out, and I'm gonna be like, oh, I guess I'm delaying Raydn again, because I've been delaying Raydn questing for like a month now. So it's kind of insane.
Great. Okay, so I'm looking forward to that. Definitely. And guys, of course, you can find me here on twitch.tv/TreyLoxHS. The ranking spreadsheet that you see on the right will be posted here will be posted under you, linked below in a few minutes. So if you guys want a copy, it will be linked. Any final words, guys?
Thank you for coming by and come back again.
Yeah, as far as final words go, I just want to say thanks to everybody that did come. We all saw the amazing support you guys do for each and every one of our streams, and we just want to give a big shout out to you guys, the viewers.
Yes.
Make sure to come again. We will be doing this pretty often, I believe.
Yes. So whenever you guys see like, oh, there's new units out, just think that oh, Sherlock, Lance, and Noah are going to be reviewing them. So.
Exactly. All right. So thank you everyone who's tuning in. Be sure to check out all our channels. Have a great Saturday night.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Bye.